ECOWAS female parliamentarians want support for good governance for democracy to thrive in the region. Federal government presents updated national policy of micro, small and medium enterprises, plus Poland to collaborate with Nigeria to develop a fish industry. Hello there, it's good to have you join us live on the news, coming to you from Abuja, Nigeria. I'm Sanda. The 47th extraordinary session of ECOWAS Heads of State and Government holds in Accra, Ghana. Ignatius Nkwo reports that the summit has just opened.
At the Accra International Conference Center here in Ghana is that more than 13 heads of state from West Africa just finished the opening ceremony of the 47th session of the ECOWAS Authorities of Head of State and Government Summit. Now, after that meeting, where the President of Ghana, John Dramani Mahama, and the President of the ECOWAS Commission presented their statements on some of the issues that will be discussed at the summit.
With the battle against Ebola almost over, we must now turn our attention to the challenges of the post-Ebola plate. Guinea, Liberia, and Sierra Leone to rebuild their economic and social infrastructure.
The heads of state have now gone into a closed session in this place where they're supposed to discuss some issues that are very strategic to the overall development of the sub-region. And among the issues that will be discussed there especially has to do with the enhancement of the powers of the ECOWAS Parliament and some other issues like fighting insurgency in the sub-region. Well, by the time they finish this indoor meeting, they come out and we expected that the press will be briefed. By then, we might get back to you to update you on the letters. It's now back to the studio for the continuation of the news.
And still in Ghana, the ECOWAS Authority of Heads of State and Government has played glowing tribute to President Goodluck Jonathan for his leadership and contributions to regional peace and security as the 47th Ordinary Session opened in Accra, Ghana. State House correspondent Shegun Glawale has details.
Authority of Heads of State and Government, John Mahama, declares open the 47th session in Accra, Ghana. Nigeria's contributions and the leadership role of President Jonathan to security and peace in Mali, Burkina Faso, and Cote d'Ivoire were noted with great appreciation. President Jonathan, alongside his Togolese counterpart, Fere Wasimbe Yadima, also received accolades for the successful elections in the two countries, out of the 5 slated for this year in the sub-region. The show of statesmanship by President Jonathan in the election was greeted with a loud ovation, while the President-elect General Muhammadu Buhari was also congratulated for his role in the peaceful elections.
Let me on your behalf take this opportunity to highly commend our brother President Goodluck Jonathan for his personal show of mature statesmanship in the events that followed the presidential elections held in Nigeria. I believe his name will be recorded in a special place when the history of Nigerian democracy comes to be written.
The president of the ECOWAS Commission, Kadi Quadrego, said ECOWAS' credibility has increased due to the manner the presidential election was held in Nigeria, especially with the choices made by President Jonathan and General Buhari to place the general interest of the country above theirs. UN Secretary General Ban Ki-moon, who sent a representative to the summit, congratulated ECOWAS and the Economic Community of Central African States, ECAS, for their joint efforts and financial support in the fight against Boko Haram.
I'd also like to take this opportunity to recognize the joint efforts of Nigeria, Niger, Chad, and Cameroon in the fight against Boko Haram. We pay tribute to the soldiers who have lost their lives and express to their families.
The 47th summit, which coincides with the ECOWAS 40th anniversary, is expected to elect a new ECOWAS chairman. In Accra, Ghana, Shegun Glawale, NTA News.
Back home in Abuja, parliamentarians in the West African sub-region have been charged to support issues of good governance and shun impunity in their countries if democracy must thrive. Senate President David Mark said this at the inaugural celebration of the ECOWAS Female Parliamentarians Association Award Night in Abuja. Oku Ekpenyong reports that the President was represented by the Speaker of the ECOWAS Parliament, Ike Ekweremadu.
Senator David Mark urged female parliamentarians and other women in various professions to embrace hard work if they must be counted.
The outgoing PDP government gave 35% of the available chances in the Federal Executive Council, and we believe that the incoming APC government will give women maybe even more.
Female parliamentarians and other professional women who have distinguished themselves in ECOWAS member states were presented with awards for being voices for women in their spheres of endeavor. The Gambian president represented was also honored for his contributions to ECOFEPA. Some of the awardees challenged women not to remain in the doldrums, but to arise and tackle daunting challenges which may have been the preserve of men in the past.
So, well, I received the award and I dedicate it to all women that have represented their community and constituencies at their respective countries.
But that honor is for the women of Africa. All we are ambassadors.
Whatever contributions we make to nation building, we start from our families.
ECOWAS Female Parliamentarians Association, ECOFEPA, is driven by a passion to empower women in the sub-region through qualitative legislation. In Abuja, Oku Ekpenyong, NTA News.
In other news, with the aim of reflecting on unfolding economic and social imperatives affecting micro, small and medium enterprises in Nigeria, the newly reviewed and updated national policy has been presented to the public. Taiwo Dubeson reports that the result of the 2013 National MSME Survey was also unveiled.
In 2007, and despite the successes recorded, the implementation of the policy had been affected by several challenges. With this review, which the Minister of Industry, Trade and Investment, Mr. Olusegun Aganga, said was done within the context of the transformation agenda of President Goodluck Jonathan, the MSME subsector in Nigeria will be given further impetus to drive the national economy towards being among the first 20 industrialized economies in the world by the year 2020.
And it addresses all the barriers to growth that we have identified under NADEP and what the policy of government should be in addressing each of these barriers.
While requesting for support of all stakeholders towards the achievement of the MSME subsector through the implementation of the policy, Smidan believes the results of the 2013 National MSME Survey will support an evidence-based approach to MSME's development in Nigeria. The National MSME Survey will no doubt provide a veritable platform for the planning, implementation, monitoring and evaluating development programs within the MSME's subsector in Nigeria. Taiwo Dubeson, NTA News.
And the Minister of Information, Senator Patricia Akwashiki, has refuted a news report by Daily Trust newspaper of Tuesday, 19th May, quoting her to have said President Goodluck Jonathan will dissolve his cabinet on Wednesday, the 20th May. The minister said at no time did she speak to journalists on the dissolution of the Federal Executive Council by President Jonathan. Senator Akwashiki said she is surprised that the news report, which initially quoted an unnamed minister from the Southwest, ended up attributing the comments to her. The information minister therefore urges the general public to disregard the report as false and malicious, which only exists in the warped. The European Union has assured that it will continue to work closely with Nigeria towards the electoral process in Africa. Anthony reports that the EU ambassador to Nigeria and ECOWAS, Michel Arion, stated this while exchanging views with the Director General Voice of Nigeria, Sam Wolu. Michel Arion pointed out that with Nigeria's last showing at the polls, it has exhibited the leading role in Africa in the attainment of peace and democracy.
So I would say it has developed. We had relatively peaceful elections which led to credible results.
Responding, the Voice of Nigeria, Sam Wolu, highlighted the need for the cooperation to partner with the EU to strengthen capacity. The EU ambassador was later conducted round Voice of Nigeria facilities. In health, the Coalition of Health Reform Foundation of Nigeria has solicited the support of the Nigerian Television Authority in the area of advocacy to create awareness and mobilize Nigerians to understand the key provisions of the 2015 National Health Act and support its implementation at the state and local government levels. Adebola Brookslyn Sunday reports.
Note that only 10 states.
The group made its request when it paid a courtesy visit to the Director General of the NTA, Shola Omole.
Health facilities to the common man at all levels of the Federation.
Leader of the group, Wakili Kaku, says when the initiatives of the Act is implemented, it will improve the delivery of primary healthcare services in Nigeria under the One Roof initiative.
It will be very easy for the common man to walk into any health facility at the state and local government levels, and no matter how rural his area is, to move into any health facility and enjoy health services at those levels.
The group says the numerous policies, but hope that the visit to the NTA will bridge the gap between policy and practice in primary healthcare service delivery.
It behoves Nigerians. We have a responsibility as Nigerians to look and get to understand it, understand the provision, and to mobilize ourselves. And that is why this partnership is key.
This information is power. Everyone feel they cannot do it alone. Before we're doing it alone, but we feel we've left a part that we need to bring them close to us. And that is using the media.
It was a better time to enlighten the delegates on what digitization is all about, in which NTA is taking the leading role in Nigeria.
One of our open to partnership and coalition with any body organization that comes with ideas that will move this nation forward.
In October 31st, 2014, President Goodluck Jonathan signed into law the National Basic. Adebola Brooksley Sunday, NTA News.
The Corps Marshal of the Federal Road Safety Corps, Oyeyemi, has declared any driver's license issued without the proper electronic data capturing as fake and invalidated. He says henceforth the bearer of such license will be arrested and prosecuted. The Corps Marshal stated this during a one-day seminar for security agencies on the verification of national driver's license and vehicle number plates in Abuja. Aliu Kabir reports.
With the establishment of the National Uniform Licensing System in Nigeria in 1990 to guarantee uniformity and standards in the system has been upgraded electronically by the Federal Road Safety Commission to match the current reality. It is aimed at ensuring a central registration of drivers and number plates. How has it been faring?
If you can go to the VIO office now, plenty of people are there. They'll do it cheaply and get their money. Understand? So road safety tell you it's a fake.
Road safety, instead of them to govern you on how to get these things, they are the one telling you that come, bring money, let me get you this.
The process, go to the road safety office, you get your forms, you fill it, you go online, they register you, they give you the temporary one. It was 60 days, but I was told it's just 45 days now, after which you get it.
The FRC is embarking on education and enlightenment campaign to sensitize the public on the usefulness of the project towards enhancing the nation's security.
And the rule is this: if you don't go for physical capture and biometrics, then the license is fake. The essence is that those who give to to some people and money, they are just doing themselves the service because it's fake. And that is why of the joint tax board, anybody with a fake license should be prosecuted. It's a criminal matter.
This led to the coming together of stakeholders drawn from the Nigerian Armed Forces, the Nigerian Police, and others.
This part of the training today is how all the security agencies could access the database of the Federal Road Safety Corps in respect of the licensing scheme involving the number plates and driver's license to authenticate.
It is expected that at the end of it all, a credible licensing system will be achieved for Nigeria. In Abuja, Aliu Kabir, NTA News.
This is the news on NTA International reaching you from Abuja. We earlier informed you that ECOWAS female parliamentarians have sued for support for good governance for democracy to thrive in the region. Still to come on the news, Poland to collaborate with Nigeria to develop her fish industry. Details in a moment.
You are watching NTA Television Authority. For more information and news updates, visit our website at www.nta.ng, or you can follow us on at NTA, or you can like us on Facebook at NTA Network News. Stay connected on at www.youtube.com/NTA News Online. Watch our live stream at www.nta.ng/live. NTA, you can't beat the rich.
For staying with us. The rehearsal for the presidential inauguration and swearing-in ceremony, which began on the 4th of this month at the Eagle Square, involves the firing of the traditional 21-gun salute. Against this background, the practice session for the 21-gun salute is scheduled to take place on the 20th and 25th of this month, as well as on the 29th inauguration day. A statement from the Guards Brigade Nigerian Army urges the general public, especially those living within Asokoro and its environs, not to panic at the sound of simulated firing of military weapons during the aforementioned dates. And on to finance matters now. The monthly policy committee of the Central Bank of Nigeria has harmonized cash reserve requirement for public and private sector at 31%, while the monetary policy ratio, MPR, remains unchanged at 13%. Shikeola Ipinaye brings us details of other decisions made at the May 2015 MPC meeting.
A very crucial monetary policy committee meeting being the last before the incoming administration resumes work in the country, coupled with the current developments in the global and domestic economic sphere. The committee raised concerns over the fragile nature of the global economic growth, described as modest but uneven. The dampening growth in the major oil exporting countries, of which Nigeria is well affected, are among the issues that shaped the committee's decision. The upward trend in the inflationary pressure, which has moved from 8.2% in March to 8.7% in April, as well as decline in growth rate from about 5.2% to 8.9%, are not too robust economic indicators. Nevertheless, the successful conduct of the general elections cast hope of stability on the economy.
Confidence and goodwill arising from the successful elections would stem the spate of capital reversals, reduce pressure in the foreign exchange market, and stabilize the financial markets in the short to medium term.
Though a considerable easing of pressure on the naira was achieved, resulting in relative stability in the forex market, continued decline in trade balance occasioned by the global crude oil situation spelled negative implication for public revenue and external reserves. The CBN Governor, Godwin Emefiele, and the need for complementary and fiscal structural policies.
That while additional tightening measures may not be appropriate for now to avoid overheating the economy, a harmonization of the CRR was imperative in order to curb abuses and improve the efficacy of monetary policy.
The monetary policy rate remains at 13%, liquidity ratio at 30%, inflation rate at 8.7%, foreign exchange reserves at $29.7 billion, and a growth rate of 3.96%. In Abuja, Shikiola Ikpenaye, NTA.
And the unemployment challenges in Nigeria has been hinged on the educational orientation of youth, which is white-collar job directed. With the introduction of entrepreneurship skills to Nigerian youth, the story is now different. Correspondent Olayinka Ojo in this report takes a look at youth and entrepreneurship development.
Entrepreneurship is described as the engine for rapid and sustained economic development. It creates the required manpower and skills necessary for accelerated growth.
Globally, it is known that wealth creation, poverty reduction are the ingredients and the outcomes of entrepreneurship.
As a youth, what would you prefer? To be self-reliant as an entrepreneur or white-collar job?
Setting up my own organization.
A white-collar job.
An employer of labor.
I like to employ people, not me being employed. As a matter of fact, I'm a fashion designer.
In Nigeria, rapid increase in youth entrepreneurs have provided the opportunity for them to take their destiny to their own hands, make a difference, reach impressive profit, as well as contribute to societal growth and development. A lot of people believe entrepreneurship development is the responsibility of government alone, forgetting that organized private sector and well-meaning Nigerians have their role to play.
The phones we use, the clothes we wear, starts from rural places, raw materials, name it, starts from the villages.
The government should try to make funds available to the youth, and those involved should actually monitor the channels through which this money is being disbursed.
Hey, you do how many?
From the 80, 100 a day.
Looking at the NYSC today, where skills acquisition has been prioritized with focus on increasing creativity, innovation, and technological advancement, what are the modalities for accessing credit facilities?
With Bank of Industry and CBN and other stakeholders to assist in then giving them soft loans that could now assist them.
According to them, entrepreneurship is more than a business because entrepreneurs also have roles such as making good business decisions, having the right motive, and making efforts to acquire the appropriate education. In Abuja, Olayinka Ojo, NTA News.
Still talking economy, Nigeria's economy up by 3.96%, plus Poland to partner Nigeria in the development of fish industry. And Angola's banana plantation creates over 9,000 jobs. Chukwunonso Moore has the details.
Reports from the National Bureau of Statistics indicates that Nigeria's economy grew by 3.69% in the first quarter of 2015. This is a sharp decline from what obtained last year due to the fall in oil prices. The Bureau puts oil production at 2.18 million barrels per day. It's against the 2.24 million barrels recorded the previous year. The Republic of Poland has pledged to work with Nigeria in the development of our fish industry for sustainable growth and economic upliftment of both countries. The Polish Deputy Minister of the Economy, who met with the officials of the Federal Ministry of Agriculture on how to actualize the objective, says his country will invest adequately in the project.
We have the solutions in agricultural activity, but also in the transformation of food, storage of food, that could be interesting for our Nigerian partners.
It's interesting to know that you've done very well in terms of trading foods and other items.
and we want to also learn benefits
The revival of the banana plantations in Angola's agro-business is yielding the desired results, creating over 9,000 job products to the neighboring Democratic Republic of Congo. Banana production in the Kazito project has reached 76,000 tons 12 to over 240,000. Chukunon, NTN News.
Sports Now and Nigeria Football Federation to sign code of conduct with national teams players as President Cup round of 16 got underway in Abuja. Kene Emabodike has details.
The maiden President Cup football tournament round of 16 is underway in Abuja after a series of qualifiers across the 6 geopolitical zones of the country. Sports Minister Tami Danagogo charged aspiring talents to embrace sport as a means of building responsible citizenry.
To meet the yearnings of Nigerians, to fish out young talents that will replace our aging legs.
In one of the matches played, Kano State in yellow jersey came from a goal down to beat Kaduna 2-1, while matches continue at the Gariki Area 3-field FIFA Goal Project and the National Stadium Main Bowl. President of the Nigerian Football Federation, Amaju Pinnick, says playing for the national teams of Nigeria is no longer business as usual. The NFF boss, during an interaction with sports writers in Abuja, enumerated different measures that his federation has put in place to ensure that Nigerian footballers produce their best when on national assignment in terms of skills and conduct.
We're having what's called the Code of Conduct from the under-17, under-20, the female national teams, everybody. They are going to sign the Code of Conduct. We are putting all those measures in place in making sure that there is discipline in camp.
In one of the Week 1 matches of the 2014-2015 season of the Nigerian National League decided over the weekend, Kaduna United in yellow jersey drew 2-2 against Adamawa United at the Kaduna Township Stadium. With sports update, Keneyima Budike, NTA News.
And that's the size of our bulletin at this time. Thanks for staying with NTA International.
Nigerian Television Authority. For more information and news updates, visit our website at www.nta.nl.